G'day boys and girls, it's Colin back again. Today we're going to talk about another queen in the Bible called Queen Jezebel. This week we're speaking about queens all week, of course, because of Queen Elizabeth and her 70 years reigning. So let's sing a song and then we'll come to Queen Jezebel.
You take all the pieces of my life, put it back together, make it all right. Oh, you forgive me. Only you can heal my broken heart, make all things new with a brand new start. Oh, you forgive me. You forgive me. I try so hard to do things right, but I make the wrong choice sometimes. And you forgive me. No one knows me, God, like you. You see who I am, not what I do. And you forgive me. You take all the pieces of my life, put it back together, make it all right. Oh, you forgive me. Only you can heal my broken heart, make all things new with a brand new start. Oh, you forgive me. I try so hard to do things right, but I make the wrong choice sometimes. And you forgive me. No one knows me, God, like you. You see who I am, not what I do. And you forgive me. You take all the pieces of my life, put it back together, make it all right. Oh, you forgive me. Only you can heal my broken heart, make all things new with a brand new start. Oh, you forgive me. You take all the pieces of my life, put it back together, make it all right. Oh, you forgive me. Only you can heal my broken heart, make all things new with a brand new start. Oh, you forgive me. You forgive me. You forgive me.
Brilliant song, You Forgive Me. Let's come to this story now about Jezebel. Of course, you can read it in the Bible, 1 Kings chapter 21, verses 1 to 29. It's about a king called Ahab. The queen was Jezebel, and it's about a man called Naboth. But not only this, at the very start, whenever we read about Jezebel, whenever Jezebel became queen, with their own money, they built a golden idol, or a golden false god, and commanded all the people to stop worshipping God in heaven and to bow down to their graven image. And right away, that was breaking one of God's commandments when he says we're not to bow down and worship graven images, or any images. And of course, the king, even though he was a queen, the queen seemed to be the boss, or the one who was dictating to him how to rule the kingdom. Now, this story tells us next door to the king's palace, there was a man called Naboth. And Naboth was a normal man, a family man, a farming man, and he owned a vineyard. A vineyard is where grapes grew. And the king, of course, was used to getting anything he wanted. He just demanded it, commanded it, and he got it. On this occasion, he went to Naboth and said, Naboth, I want your vineyard. Whatever it costs, I'll pay you. Whatever it's worth, I'll pay you. And he thought just there and then Naboth would sell him it. But Naboth said, no, it's been in my family for many generations. I'm not interested in your money. I just want to keep my own vineyard. And of course the king thought, does he not hear what I'm saying? And Naboth said, no, thank you. I'm not selling my vineyard. And of course the king goes home and he sulks because he didn't get his own way. He climbs into bed and he starts to cry like a baby because he didn't get his own way. The queen comes upstairs, realizes there's something wrong with the king and says, Ahab, what's wrong with you? What's the matter? You're sulking. You're not eating your dinner. You're upset. What's happened? And they said, I went next door to to extend my garden, my land. I wanted to buy Naboth's vineyard, but he refused to sell it to me. And she says, don't you worry, eat your dinner. I'm going to make sure you get the vineyard. And off she went. The Bible says she went and she wrote letters with the king's and stamped it with the king's signature on it, as if they came from the king, and you sent it out to all the important people, the noble people, telling them all to come to a certain feast on a certain day. And of course Naboth was brought to be in the centre of this here to discuss it. But she also plotted, and she got two scoundrels, two people who were used to telling lies, making up stories, and she told them whenever the feast is going, accuse Naboth of speaking against God and speaking against the king. And whenever the time came, everyone was eating, everyone was drinking, everyone was happy, and suddenly these two people pointed a finger and said, I heard that man speak against God. And the other one said, so did I. Then another one said, I've heard that man speak against the king. And the other one, so have I. And Naboth, before he realised that he couldn't defend it, the people were outraged. How dare you speak against God? And how dare you speak against the king? And because you had no legs to stand on, in a sense, everyone believed him. They pointed a finger, and of course they accused him of death. And as a result, Naboth lost his life. He was stoned to death, being falsely accused of what he'd done. That was a terrible thing. But remember, the Bible says, be sure your sin will find you out. And of course, Ahab, all happy. Here's Jezebel said, you wanted a vineyard, you're the king, I'm the queen, we can do whatever we want. Go and enjoy your vineyard like a spoiled child. Did God know what happened? Was God aware of what was going on? Absolutely. And off he went into the vineyard and he thought, these grapes are mine. I've got so much land. I'm in charge of the entire country. Anything I want, I can get. Until he heard a voice. Excuse me, Ahab, it's Elijah here. Elijah, the prophet, the man who speaks against me and speaks up for God. Elijah was cross with him and said, Elijah, did you have a man put to death so that you can steal his property? God knows all about it. I know all about it. And as a result, Ahab, you are going to die in the battle. Your sons are also going to die in the battle. Your generation is going to stop immediately. And your wife, just like whenever Nahab died, the dogs would come and lick up his blood as it spilled on the ground. The same thing is going to happen to the queen, only far worse. Do you know what happened a short time after this here? Whenever Elijah went away, the Bible says the king was really shocked. And he thought, God, Israel, what I've done, it's been really bad. And the Bible says he went. And this time he also cried. But he was praying to God, and he told God he was really sorry, really, really sorry. And because of that, God forgave him and extended his life. But eventually he did die, and his sons died in battle, as Elijah said. Do you know what happened to Queen Jezebel? The Bible says after the king died, one day she was upstairs and her own people turned against her and they pushed her out of the window and she landed on the ground. And whenever they went to pick her up, the Bible says that wild dogs had already come and devoured her, they'd eaten her up, and all you could see was some blood and some bones on the ground. The moral of this story, what you sow you will reap. That's what happened to Naboth those few years before this year. And she thought she could do whatever she wanted, do whatever she liked, but the Bible says, be sure your sin will find you out. What you sow you will reap. And there are many good people, many wonderful queens and kings in the Bible, but a lot of evil ones. And the Bible says Queen Jezebel and King Ahab, they made God more angry than anyone else who ever lived before them. So Queen Jezebel, at the start of the story, she thought she could do whatever she wanted, but she couldn't. Her life was cut short and she ended up dying a very, very sudden death, because she thought she could just do whatever she liked to whoever she liked. But God said, no, you can't. Enough is enough. Very, very interesting story about Queen Jezebel. Let's sing a final song here. Another song, Trust in the Lord.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Trust Him, for He will guide you. Trust Him, let Him live inside you. He will lift you in the darkest night and lead you into the light. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Trust Him, for He will guide you. Trust Him, let Him live inside you. He will lift you in the darkest night and lead you into the light. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Trust Him, for He will guide you. Trust Him, let Him live inside you. He will lift you in the darkest night and lead you into the light. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight.
In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths and make your path straight. That's all from the story about Queen Jezebel. Have a really good day today. Thank you for watching.